Welcome to Sit Downs with City Lifestyle, Vegas Edition podcast. My name's Chrissy Bound. I'm the publisher for Henderson City Lifestyle, and we are back with our community series here. And today we have a special friend of mine, Mr. Alex Mavros, my long-lost Greek cousin, who is the owner of 702 property with Life Realty at the district and the co-chairman for Kids Day Out and on the board of directors for Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada. That's a long title for you.
Woo! Luckily, I don't have a name badge to wear.
They wouldn't be able to fit it. It would have to. They'd have to wrap text it around to be able to fit all your titles.
Put it in a big circle, and then you add Mavros. Luckily, that's short enough. They don't have my whole Greek long name, to put in there.
My gosh. Well, Alex, thank you for making time to join us today. And first and foremost, I have to give you a shout out with a lot of credit because I do not know many people in this town who volunteer as much as you do to give back to our community. So
well, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for acknowledging that. It's something that I grew up doing. My dad, that was one thing that he always did, was involved with a lot of different organizations. And so I learned it growing up. Was in the Boy Scouts. I was actually an Eagle Scout. So
you were an Eagle Scout.
We always had that was a whole nother story in itself. I literally had to do my Eagle project after my birthday.
Okay.
Because my grandfather passed away, unfortunately. But I was supposed to do it the weekend. As a true procrastinator, I waited till the very, very end, and luckily they gave me a variant, and so I was able to do it after my birthday. So I was actually older than 18 when you were supposed to be done, but that was just true Alex Mavros form.
So, exactly.
But no, I my whole life I've always tried to give back as much as I can, and it's so fulfilling personally, but really what you see in the children or the different organization, that's the high that you get, and so you do one, and as my wife would say, I don't know how to say no. So that's a whole nother thing, because when I get asked and I don't know how to say no, then I'm like, I just added another board of directors or another foundation or another event. But I love every second of it, and I love when I can involve others as well.
Exactly. Like me.
Exactly.
Well, and you've been part of Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada specifically for a long time. What is it, 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah, actually 31.
Okay.
So actually, technically more than that. So in 95, I was pledging my fraternity, of which we've talked about before on the last podcast, Sigma Alpha Epsilon. And our philanthropic event was Boys Night Out, which is now turned into Kids Day. And we'll talk about that a little bit going forward. But at the time was Boys Night Out. So we were just volunteering. And so fast forward after my, 7 years at UNLV. After I graduated, I went to the other side of actually being a mentor for a handful of years. Then I was asked to be on the committee. Then a handful of years after that, I was asked to be the chairman of the event. And so that's where we stand today. And now, it's turned into Kids Day Out. So we had Girls Day, Boys Night Out, and now those two events have combined, and now we do it on a Saturday afternoon. And as you've seen and been a part of a few of them, it's an amazing event.
It's amazing. I mean, these kids are they're living their best life. They're having their best day.
I think the adults are living their best life.
That's true too. It's very funny because I volunteered with you the last 2 years, and I'm living my best life on that day too. It's so
really
exciting.
say the adults have more fun than the kids do.
They do. Well, for those who may not be familiar with Kids Day Out, share a little bit about what the day is.
So one of the ways that I kind of put it is almost like a career day for the kids. So every year is a little bit different. This year we had a couple incredible sponsors. At the end of the day, it's a fundraiser. So this last year, the event that we just had last weekend, we raised nearly $180,000.
Wow.
Could have actually been a little bit above that, depending on kind of final numbers. So yeah, just amazing the amount of money and the sponsorships we had. Buffalo Wild Wings is one of our main sponsors. Caesars helps. There's so many, and I apologize that I don't have all of the names of all of our sponsors because they really deserve all the recognition because we couldn't do it without them. But it's a career day, if you will. So we have the smoke truck. We have an ambulance there. We've had race cars. We've had
FBI.
When I worked, we've had Fingerprint Express. Dave Pappas and Monica, they brought some of their stuff out where they've been able to do some fingerprint kits and be able to educate the children. So there's so many different things. Red Rock Search and Rescue comes out. So many different things that the kids can do. And maybe they don't know what they want to be when they grow up, but maybe they had an opportunity to talk to a firefighter or a paramedic or a race car driver. There's so many different opportunities. Musicians, Life by Music,
Life by
we've
Music.
talked about. They are there and they're a part of every event. And because the guys go back to UNLV with me, they've been a part of probably 20 events. So there's so many different fun things to do on top of feeding them, entertaining them. You had to check out a little bit early this last weekend, but I think we had the best entertainment that we've ever had. We had this crew that is like a ninja crew, and they also do contortionist. And there was one girl who got up on the stand kind of upside down and then shot a bow and arrow.
Oh my God.
Into a bullseye. It's just this. I don't think I've ever seen the kids and the adults mesmerized by the entertainment. We've had some really cool stuff. We've had Jabberwockies one year. We had one of the contortionists from Absinthe. We've had dance crews. But I tell you, the whole room was just staring intently at these.
I believe
from the dancing and everything that they're doing. So there's so many opportunities to have fun. It's just an amazing day.
And I give you guys a lot of credit as well, because at one of the kids' day out, it was super, super windy, and there's so many activities outside. And I remember showing up in the morning, and it was like all hands on deck. We're still giving the kids their experience. We're just taking it inside. Everything besides the petting zoo is going inside.
Yeah.
And there was like an hour to do it, but everybody did it, and it was great. And the kids didn't know anything different. And I mean, no matter what, you guys are giving these kids this special day, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Alongside the volunteers.
It's such an awesome day, and there's so many different things. We're very blessed this last weekend. The weather was perfect. It could not have been any better. On a side note, which is the other event that we'll be talking about, which is Sneaker Ball, we had just had that outside grass totally redone, specifically for Sneaker Ball. And it rained all week.
Oh, no.
Stopped about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but by that point in time, kind of to your point of being able to think on a moment's notice, we moved everything inside, and the event still went off without a hitch. But the main focus of what we wanted to do, which was that new field outside that the Raiders donated, we weren't able to do that. So whether it's Kids Day Out, whether it's Sneaker Ball, you have so many hands on deck to just you make do, and the kids didn't know any different.
They don't know.
Granted, Sneaker Ball was a little bit different. It was a little bit different atmosphere, being inside versus being outside. But you make do, and luckily we still had an amazing event, amazing results, and you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do to make it happen.
Exactly.
Well, and Sneaker Ball is coming around again.
Absolutely, going to be September 10th from 5:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
And this one, again, we are keeping our fingers crossed and going to ask a favor from the man above that we have great weather that day. But it's an awesome event. That one, I don't know what year we're actually on, but it's been around for quite a while. The Kids Day Out was actually between Boys Night Out and Kids Day was our 45th. Okay. So it's an event that's been, that does date back. And I've spoken with gentlemen that have been a part back in 40, 45 years ago when it first started, and so it's so cool to see how how similar it is, but how it's evolved over the years. And Sneaker Ball, same similar motive is a fundraiser. So it's a gala event, but we try and have a lot of fun. We try to do our best to not make it that stuffy, boring event that you're like, I gotta go to this event.
It's
get
fun.
all dressed up. This one, we did a cowboy theme in the past. We've tried to change the theme a little bit, try and do different. And a lot of those events in the past had been at Caesars, at the M, at a lot of these other hotels. And as you mentioned, I'm also on the board of directors. Is a couple years ago we said, what if we were to do it at one of our clubs instead? Yeah. And it's actually worked out better because the programming's there. The kids are there. You get an opportunity to go through the club. Now, the main club that we used to have, which was the lead club that was over off of Sahara and Decatur, we actually sold that to Pinecrest Academy. Okay. An amazing club, a lot of memories there, but unfortunately just the upkeep and to try and bring it up to ADA standards was just going to be just too expensive. I mean, it literally was going to we were going to knock it down and
Yeah,
build it from the
rebuild it
ground
all.
up, and it was just too cost prohibitive for us.
Yep.
So we did go into a partnership with Pinecrest and
Okay.
sold to Pinecrest. So now they're able to bring their programming to that neighborhood, but we still do have programming at that club as well.
Okay.
So not the main
Yeah.
deal that it used to be, but we
Yeah.
are still, because we wanted to make sure that we stayed within that neighborhood and had that presence. But the main club that we do Kids
Yeah.
Day Out now and we do sneaker ball at is the Reynolds Club.
Yep.
So over there off of Robindale and Eastern. Amazing club.
I love that you guys are doing the sneaker ball there too, because it also fits the vibe.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is for businesses and for families and people that are participating, they can walk around and see the direct impact that their contributions are going to have because they're at the club.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. When we had it at the hotels were nice. It's just it's a different
Different
feeling.
Different vibe.
Yeah, it's so fun, especially now that we have that field outside. The field is amazing. We create, we have the audio visual out there now, so that can be brought in very easily. We have that concrete pad where the petting zoo was.
Yes.
On the end where we could bring in all the food trucks, which was a really cool dynamic that we introduced last year. So there's so many different things that we can do, and being able to walk through the club and actually see and feel and hear what's happening. Upstairs inside the Reynolds Club is the Note for Note studio and the teenage kind of area. They have their whole little separate area upstairs. So it's really just a great vibe as well.
Yeah.
So, and it like you said, it lends it more to the atmosphere of the event.
Well, share a little bit about the Note by Note studio or Note
Yeah,
to
it's
Note.
a Note to Note. So they have an amazing studio upstairs. I believe it was Imagine Dragons. Correct me. Well, you wouldn't be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, I think it was
believe
because when I
them
did the tour, I think that's who they said.
who had donated the money for that program.
Yeah.
So they do all kinds of events up there. They have a studio, a professional soundboard. It's just an amazing facility that they have upstairs. And Life by Music, which Ryan and Adrian as well, they do a lot of music programming as well over there, and with some of the different clubs. So the Notes for Notes programming that they have there, it's really another opportunity. They have their own podcast, and they have the kids learning the soundboard, and so it's really trying to bring, whether it's in their normal day-to-day programming or the different events that we have. It's really giving kids that opportunity to find that outlet that they're going to really be able to do well with.
I mean, it's so cool that you're bringing these different just ideas that kids may not have even thought of participating in to them. And I love that they have the teen area too, because there really is something.
They need that separation.
For all the, they need the separation. They need their own space, And it's nice because, there's something for kids to do of all ages at Boys and Girls Club. So what's the typical age that Boys and Girls Club serve here?
So 5 to 18.
Okay.
However, with the new Shack Club that's going to be opening over in North Las Vegas, they're actually at that facility. They're going to have some daycare.
Oh, that's great.
That's going to be an amazing facility. And for those of out there that have seen any of the rendering, well, not even renderings, it's being built.
Yeah.
And I believe it'll be completed in November. That Shack Club is just going to be phenomenal. So that's going to be a partnership between Shaquille O'Neal and the Boys and Girls Club. In addition, UFC's involved. So Dana White's been, there was just a video that was put out social media a couple weeks ago of him being there. Shaquille O'Neal fully involved. The Lakers, the basketball courts can be fully Laker branded.
Nice.
And then you've got in the back, you've got the soccer field, and Metro is actually, I don't believe it's a pure substation, but they are going to be helping coaching sports that are happening there.
That's great.
And so there's the integration of Metro being involved.
I love
and and just an amazing opportunity. And with that facility, within, I don't know, I guess it's maybe like a quarter mile or half a mile radius of the club, I think there is something like 4 to 6 schools between elementary, junior highs, high schools, and be able to serve all of that neighborhood, that community.
Awesome.
But they're also going to add in the daycare. So that's going to be a first, and they haven't really done that before. We are in CCSD, so Boys and Girls Club is already working with the Clark County School District. They're just trying to do more. So little by little, as the programs are doing amazingly well and having really good feedback, because again, there's the Safe Key and Latchkey, there's all these different programs. And those, again, no disrespect. Those are necessarily as well. But with what Boys and Boys and Girls Club brings to the table is just the experience, the knowledge, the club staff, and just the opportunity to just really connect with the kids and really be able to give them. I mean, the graduation numbers are something like 97% of kids that, go through the process and are still within the process within their graduating years. It's like 97%.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. And I think, almost everybody has some kind of a connection to Boys and Girls Club. We've talked about that too. My grandpa was part of Boys and Girls Club in Chicago when he was younger. And I think my mom told you this story when we were volunteering for Kids Day Out. But my grandpa's like my grandpa was a delinquent, and he's like, the only thing that kept me out of, juvenile hall was going to Boys and Girls Club every day after school when he was growing up. And, there's so many different programs and opportunities for these kids. If there's families or if there's businesses that would like to get involved with Boys and Girls Club, make donations or donate their time, what's your recommendation for getting involved for them?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just reach out to the club.
Okay.
We have 13 clubs, citywide now. There's club in Boulder City. There's, Southern Highland, pretty much, every part of town. And then you now have the Shack Club, I believe will be the 14th.
Okay.
So, go, the website was just rebranded, I believe, and I hope I'm correct when I say this, bgsnv.org, would just be Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada.org. So I apologize if that is not the exact
It's the right
website.
One. Yes.
We will make sure
You did great.
In our notes to make sure that that's correct.
Yes.
But there's really any way that a company or an organization wants to be involved, whether it's on the volunteering aspect, whether it's in-kind donations. Financial is obviously always welcome because it's expensive. There are grants for the children. So if there's ever any children that don't have the funding to be able to go to be involved, there are grants available. So we want to make sure that we're making it available to everybody. Doesn't matter the financial situation that their family's in. We want to make sure that we can make it available to them.
I love that. I love that so much. And I can tell it's something that you feel super passionately about. Has there been a moment in all of your years of volunteering that's kind of stood out to you as like, this is my why. This is why I keep showing up to Boys and Girls Club, and this is why I do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be just being at that event every year for
Kids
Boys
Day
Night Out or Kids Day now is that, because I've been involved with almost 30 plus events, there have been kids that came to the event that are now mentors.
Yeah.
Or kids that just went to the club and now they are, volunteering or sponsoring, donating because of the positive environment that it created for them. One of the Youth of the Year awards is from Southern Nevada. So there's the different clubs up north and in different counties around Nevada and obviously nationwide. But one of the youth from Southern Nevada won the Youth of the Year.
That's awesome.
But just seeing and knowing the graduation statistic or knowing what the opportunities are, or maybe not even the opportunity, what could happen if they don't take part in being a part of a Boys and Girls Club. There's
having
just
somewhere
so much
to go,
craziness
that's safe
out there.
Yeah.
That for them to have that outlet, whether it's scholastic, arts, sports. I mean, there's so many character development. There's so many aspects. There's so many pillars of the Boys and Girls Club that it honestly, it's hard for me to think of one exact moment. But it's just the high that I get and seeing how much fun the adults or the kids are having, knowing the amount of money that we are able to raise in a one-day event that can now help with the programming. It just, so yeah, hard for me to say one because there have been so many over the years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know we're coming down to it. If people want to get involved, check out Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada. And we can't recommend it enough. Between the two of us, we absolutely love all the events that you guys have hosted. And we appreciate you guys including us too, because
it's fun.
It is fun. And that's the whole point. We get to hang out with the kids and give them a great time and see them smile and know that we've given them an amazing day that they'll remember forever.
Yeah.
And that's really the point. So
it is, and the adults too. Like what
and
I
the
always
adults
say
too.
is that
And the adults too.
once you get somebody out there to come to an event,
they're coming
hooked.
every year. Yeah.
They're either gonna do their best to make sure that they're there, or they're going to try and get their business or organization to help finance the event, sponsor the event. But I don't know anybody that has been to the event that didn't just have a phenomenal time. You know, we have the event, and then we went for our after party. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings. So we had, you know, over 50 of our mentors come over there afterwards. Unfortunately, we wish everybody could come over, but we had over 50 there. And we had raffle prizes that, you know, the committee had. And again, I have to give a shout out to the committee, because we couldn't get it done without our committee. You were on the committee last year and helped this year as well. Because when we get those raffle tickets, that's our opportunity to give back to the mentors. Now, they have a great time at the event, but in the after party is when you get to sit down, meet some meet some of the other volunteers, find out why or how they came to be involved in the event. So it's really just an awesome opportunity, whether it's Kids Day Out, whether it's Sneaker Ball, and we're always looking for new opportunities. So I know we're talking about maybe doing a pickleball event or a bowling tournament. So if anybody out there has any awesome ideas of what we can do,
find Alex.
Give us a call. We'll create another event, whatever we can do to bring more to the club.
Yeah, well, and I agree with you. Absolutely cannot recommend volunteering enough with Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada. You will get the warm, fuzzy feeling that's hard to find anywhere else. So I appreciate you making the time to join us today.
Thank you.
And thank you all to who have listened or watched along with us today. And we'll see you guys next time.